Hello and welcome to another Raggy's craft beer review. So tonight we're going over to Morrisons, although only the craft beer versions of Morrisons, not the standard Morrisons. I'll get into that in a minute because it's quite interesting what Morrisons are doing. So this is Heaven. It's a replacement for Strannik. Strannik was an Imperial Stout, 10% like this is. And that was a straight up Impy. This is a chocolate, vanilla and maple Imperial Stout, 10%, bringing you a taste of maple coated heaven. Northern Monk, without a shadow of a doubt, the best supermarket brewery this year, and one of the elite national breweries in my opinion because of their range of beers. And some in supermarkets, and yes, you know, you can slag beers that often go in supermarkets, but supermarkets bring the beers to the wider public. There are a lot of people out there who aren't craft beer aficionados, for want of a better word, and to them it's their only way of getting these beers at a price that they can afford. You must always remember this with the beer world. Not everybody's got the money to go out and pay 100 quid on new beers every week, you know. God, I wish. So a black pour on this, quite dark tan head. First thing that hit me was maple on the nose, like a toasted maple. Chocolate as well. Not getting the vanilla as of yet. So yeah, 10%. Over the years, I do miss the North Star beers. I thought they were extra special. The third was probably the weakest of the bunch, actually, the Black Forest. I actually liked it because I like Black Forest Gatto. But I did feel it was the weakest of the bunch. It's probably the second one was the strongest. I can't remember which one it was now. It was the almond or the hazelnut. But in any case, and obviously Death Star over in Tesco's, another Northern Monk beer. Death Star episode 3. Did we see episode 2? Yeah, we did. We've seen episode 2. We've never seen the original Death Star. I'm sure that's how it worked. But in any case, so here we go. Like I say, head's dissipating quite nicely now. Yeah, good nose on there. Oh, that maple on nose. Anyway, let's dive in. Cheers all. Maple, chocolate, toasty. A touch of vanilla, touch. Heaven, eh? Does it live up to the Heaven label? Interesting. I like Death Star 2. Death Star 3, the Dulce di Leche was different. I like that. Strannik was a straight up Impy. That too was, you know, it was a belter. And like I say, I'm going to announce all my beer breweries of the year, all on probably on New Year's Eve, or tomorrow on New Year's Eve, and actually get my brewery of the year, beer of the year. Although I've actually gave away details of what it is already. If you follow every review that I do, and if you don't, you soon will, because it'll come up. I feel it's nice and thick. It's an interesting blending like chocolate, vanilla and maple. I think with all flavours, it's if it's your flavour. Now, you're going to put anything in supermarkets for the mass market, you want to appeal to the wider audience. You don't want to go somewhere where you put a beer out and because it's so obscure that no one buys it, and you can make statements with beers and then fall flat on your arse because you've gone too far to try and make a statement. People do, don't they? They bring out new versions of crisps and chocolates with weird and wacky flavours. Some work and some bloody fail. And the same goes with beer, you know. I don't think there is a perfect beer out there. I've tasted some pretty damn near perfect beers, and not by the breweries that you'd think would be the ones, the breweries that are already top of Untapped. Not that I use that platform because it's crap and it does me nothing, but it's handy to search from, so I'm on there, but I don't post. Yeah. Now, I've been a bit spoiled recently because I've had some world class Imperial Stouts. So, unlike a lot of people out there, unless you encounter some of these stouts, um, unless you encounter some of these, stouts that I've encountered, literally they are like heaven in a stout. And unless you've encountered them, then it's going to be difficult to put one against the other. I'll tell you now that this, as good a stout as it is not a patch on any of the three recent releases from Bang the Elephant. So that puts you into context the fact that some people have raved about this being one of the beers of the year. It's a very good supermarket beer. It is not beer of the year, no. I think Strannik actually was a better straight up impy. It just flowed. It had complexities. This is ruled by the maple and like a toastiness with the chocolate and the vanilla really in the background. Now, without being cruel to Northern Monk, which I'd never do anyway because they're a fantastic brewery, I brewed from kit an Imperial Stout that tastes better than this. That's from a beer kit. Obviously, you pay 40 odd quid for a beer kit, and yeah, it was absolutely top notch. So, just goes to show you that the modern beer kits these days are massively as good as some of the stuff that's out there. That was the Love Brewing Imperial Stout kit, which is something like 42 quid. Sorry, the last time I looked, was 37. Went up a fiver. And I don't think the kit's as good as it was. I think there's some of the ingredients have changed, but it's still an amazing kit. And it's a kit that I want to rebrew with some raggy additions to the kit, of course, for my wedding vows this year. It's one of three beers that I want to put into barrel and then get some help off the beer community, the homebrew beer community, advice about barrel aging, and I'm going to chuck it out to Nottingham Brewers Group and ask the people in Nottingham Brewers Group, can I barrel age into a plastic barrel for 6 months and see where it comes, see what happens, and yeah, because I want 3 of my own beers, obviously from a kit. Maybe one that I'm going to grain brew myself, but the other two from a kit. I've got 3 barrels, so I want to do that. Hopes and aspirations. Anyway, back to this beer. A little slight tangent there, talking about other beers. And make no mistake, it is a great beer for supermarkets. It was £5, so the price is going up, and I think it'll continue to go up as well. This year we're going to see, sadly, prices rising. Don't know if the breweries can withstand holding the prices down, because there's only so much you can do to a product to keep that product, to the stage where you're making any money on it. I know sometimes with selling stuff, you can sell 1,000. If you're making a pound on a can, and you're selling 1,000 of them, then you've made £1,000 profit. But if you're making £2 on the can, but you're only selling 100, in retrospect, £2 profit, you're selling 100. Then some ways is it better to sell more to get more? But then there's more work involved in doing that, so that's interesting. The bigger breweries they've got bigger tanks and all that to do all that, and automated processes where they just press buttons, and they've got malt in bulk instead of in bags. I presume so, anyway. Not that I really know. I've never been to one of these mega breweries. I'd love to go to somewhere like Northern Monk, to be honest, and see how they run. And just to see how their operations are, because I've not seen on the internet that anybody's been there and done that. And this is where the beer reviewers should be doing this, really, going to these breweries. I mean, I suppose unless if you're the likes of the craft beer channel, then the likelihood is you're not going to get invited because they've got the amount of viewers watching. But is it always about for me, and apologies if this offends anybody, but when I look at a lot of the people doing what we're doing, there's a lot that not as interested, I would say, and purely not for monetary reasons. But anyway, out of 5, it was an okay Imperial Stout, chocolate, maple, vanilla, but it wasn't, for me, it wasn't groundbreaking. It certainly wasn't what I've read on other reviews of this. It was a nice Imperial Stout. Strannik, Death Star 3 were better. 4.3 out of 5 for me against other beers. Thank you for watching. See you soon.